Okay, guys, what's happening? Blazing Press here on YouTube once again. Going to be doing a little update here. Just a small little update, not too much. And just going to fill you in on some of the things that I'm seeing right now as I come in from a long day and hard day of work. Okay, guys, what's happening? Blazing Press here on. Okay, sorry about that. So basically, I wanted to kind of just update you on how things are working with me and the operation here, the ministry. I'm really focused on ministry at this point. I know there's a lot of politics and news. My wife does a lot of that research, and she posts on Telegram, and I like to read the news when I get in. We've got a big operation that has to be, everything needs to be done in order, as it says, decently and in order. But I really think that the putting first, as I do, and as I've been really focused on doing, getting that message of what really is going to remedy, maybe not the world, maybe not the United States, maybe not the political system in this the big scheme of things is ultimately going headlong into prophetic fulfillment, which isn't pretty. But in the midst of that, you can be the little island or the oasis that people are going to find refuge, right? Or that city, that lighted city on the hill that's going to be the city of refuge. So, so I look at a lot of the things. My wife is really focused on what's happening there in the world, and I kind of look at this myself, and we like to talk about those things when we have time to get into it. And then I like to share with you guys, because I know a lot of you out there are interested in what's happening, and having that perspective on what's going on in the world. So, I'm kind of doing the research many times as I come on with you, especially if it's news. So sometimes it's the first time I'm looking at things as I'm getting on, and I've kind of been, just taking a little short breaks and getting as much news as I can, but my focus is really to not get too sidetracked with what's happening politically, because the whole political mindset. Now, there is a crossover, especially if you're talking about prophecy, and if you do believe that these are the last days, you're going to see that the news is going to cross over into what is actually and how these things are being interpreted and how it applies to your own personal life. And the key, though, is not to get caught so much up in the prophecy of things, but to make sure that the spirit of prophecy, which Revelation says is the testimony of Jesus, the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy, it says, that's the only way you're going to really be able to decipher and discern and to correctly interpret, is if you have a right relationship with Christ. So the main focus should be seeking first, and it says first, the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and then all these other things will be added to you. Whatever other things that means, whether it's your ability to commentate accurately and discern the signs of the times, and or have a job and provide for your family, and be a good husband, be a good wife, be a good friend, be out there being a witness, and doing a good job at what you do, what you put your hand to. That doesn't mean you're not going to stumble and fall. That doesn't mean you're not going to have any faults or failures, but along the way you're getting better. Things are progressing. The path of the righteous grows brighter and brighter unto the perfect day, it says. And we are continually being transformed into his image, as we behold as in a glass. It says the glory of the Lord. We're transformed into his image as from glory to glory. So it's a continual unfolding image that is being it's being magnified, and it's being seared. I don't want to say seared, because that's kind of It's talking about there's a scripture that talks about people with seared consciences, but it's almost like you're looking at this bright. It's like a you know, when you take a picture and you have a negative, when the shutter opens, the darkness, and then it on the film, it basically embeds that image right onto the film, and it's like that image is being bore in you as you behold as in a glass, or it says as into a mirror. The glory of the Lord is basically transforming you. So the more time you spend looking into the perfect law of liberty, the more you're going to have freedom, the more you're going to have clarity, the more you're going to have peace, the more you're going to have joy, the more you're going to understand what the big scheme of things is, you know? And I'm going to tell you what's going on in the world is fascinating to me. I sit back and I'm looking and listening and watching all these things that are unfolding in different parts of the world, and I am completely in awe. That's why I do want to talk about these things that have to do with the signs, because they are definitely pointing to events that are unfolding on the earth right now. When we talk about the signs of the sun, the moon, and the stars, we recently had all of these celestial events that I think are pointing to prophetic fulfillments, especially messages that are being sent to the church, and I believe to all of humanity, for those who have ears to hear. And I think it portends judgments that are coming, judgments that actually are here and that are going to get worse. Okay. And these are not happy times in the natural world, and they're going to be painful times. In fact, they're going to be very fearful times. And we're on the eve right now of WWE. I mean, WW3. Did I say WWE? No, I did. See I meant WWE. I did not mean WW3. Please don't change that, because I don't want YouTube to see that, and that was a metaphor. Okay, we changed it on Telegram, but don't change it on YouTube. WWE was what I meant to say. Okay. WW3 obviously is something that's happening, but if you put WW3 on YouTube or you put war, you automatically get dinged. Okay. There's an algorithm that changes, and it's true. You'll know. For anybody that broadcasts, you'll know what happens. Not only do you get demonetized, but you also get shadow banned. So you want to make sure there's certain words you don't say, and especially when you're talking about things like what we're talking about. So I know the code words, and I know what to say and what not to say in order to keep this thing rolling and growing, because that's what we want to do here on YouTube. We're developing this channel. We're actually and I said we're how did I say it? I was talking about building this channel. I was talking to Dana earlier today. You know, Dana Coverstone, you guys know him. And some of those things and he's being, you know, a lot of people are talking to him about his dreams, because some of those dreams seem to be coming to pass, especially with the 3 shots toward Trump. You know, these are, you know, embedded messages that are in dreams that have some significance. And that's why I pay attention to dreams myself when I have them, because many times they have there's a lot of significance and messaging that's going on. Now, I always tell people, not all dreams are from God. It could be the pizza you ate. It could be the movie you watched. It could be, you know, the people that you're around and affecting your subconsciousness. But if you're in a continual state of communion with the Lord, then your dream state many times is going to be influenced by those messages that you're getting from God throughout the day. And God should be speaking to you in the day and the night. Now, if he's not speaking to you in the day, then he's probably not going to be speaking to you in your dream state. You're going to probably be getting a bunch of overflow of the collective consciousness that is the world, the flesh, and the devil. Okay? That's probably what you're going to be dreaming about. Now, God can still intervene and speak to you. He always seems to get through to people at a certain point in time. So that's not to say that God can't speak to you if you're not following him. But what was that? Am I still here? Okay. I don't know what that noise was. That tells me something was unplugged. I don't know what that means, but you guys can all still hear me out there, right? Okay, so let me look at some of your comments. Deborah Wrightenhouse, how's it going? Joe Lopez, Cheyenne, Arnold Schmidt. Let's see who else. Eyes to See is in the house. Cheyenne, I said Billy Teague, Red Silk. I see Reggie in the house, and Dave P. And George 12B Georgia. What's going on? And don't forget, we've got a store going on here that is definitely helping to get people prepared, especially for things like hurricanes, power outages, cyber hacks, lack of communication, lack of food, lack of whatever else is coming. Because I'm telling you, I believe war is coming to the United States. I don't think it's just going to stay. Just like the defense minister of Russia said, it's not going to just stay over here in Europe or in Asia. It's coming to your town. It's coming to your continent. That's what he said. Recently, again, he said this a few times. And now that they pulled their ambassador out of Washington, D.C., and all these things are beginning to ramp up in the Middle East, we are on the eve of watching Israel pull America headlong into a conflict. Now, yeah, they're going to tag team us all right. I don't know if you've ever seen Nacho Libre or you've ever seen, if you've ever seen WWE, or the Lucha Libras, or whatever they call them. And they always have like a tag team, and America's the tag team. America's going to start, the Israelis are starting it. But you know who's going to end up finishing it? You know who's going to get steeped in this conflict right in the middle of the hornet's nest? Yeah, it's going to be your sons and daughters. It's going to be the U.S. That's what I think is coming. And not to mention the fact that there's going to be all kinds of activity happening here in the homeland. And this whole thing with North Carolina and the pulling back of FEMA, I had a feeling something like that was going to happen. They're going to blame the people that were pissed off because now they've got militias out there and they're saying they can't come in because there's militias that are threatening FEMA. Have you seen that? Crazy stuff. I'm telling you, that's what they're going to do in many different ways. They're going to blame the average citizens for trying to help and trying to remedy the situation and getting a little upset at the government. They're going to turn and say, yeah, they're dangerous. We got to bring in the military. And this is the reason why we can't help. Okay? We can't help you. Sorry. We didn't want to help you in the beginning, and now we're definitely not going to help you. You're going to just have to fend for yourself, but we're telling everybody they can't go in there anyway. So no citizens can go in there. This is why people are getting fed up, and this is why they're getting upset. But this is going to be happening on a wide scale when all these things begin to happen and the dominoes begin to fall, and you begin to see these things begin to ripple throughout our economy and throughout our social and civil, civil environment, within our cities and our states. And the main, head of all that is obviously the federal government. You're going to start to see this antagonistic internal problem. And that's exactly what Dimitri Duduman said. For those who don't know who Dimitri Duduman is, he was a Romanian pastor, personally met him twice before he died, and his prophecies were definitely in the 80s, the late 80s and the early 90s about this very moment in time. And at that time, Russia was not a problem with America. We were actually in détente. We were friends with them. We were helping Russia to get back after the Iron Curtain fell and to restructuring. And it was a part of America's, aid packages that they were sending and trying to stabilize what they said was a complete failure and a complete destruction of their current system. But at that time, he prophesied that Russia would be our enemy at a certain time in the future. And by the way, his prophecies were confirmed by what he prophesied the fall of the Iron Curtain before it happened, and also where it began right there in Romania with the death of Ceausescu. He prophesied that he would be killed, and him and his wife were strung up in the town square, and they were executed before all the people because of the evil dictator that he was. And this was the first country to fall as the Iron Curtain began to come down. It was a domino effect. But he prophesied that before. He got exiled. They tried to kill him. They had him in the prisons, and they tortured him and everything. They came to the United States, and then he began a ministry at a certain point, And he began to prophesy about what was coming to America because God was telling him this is where America is going to be in the future. And he went into detail. He went into great detail about what was coming and how it was going to happen. If you get the book Through the Fire Without Burning, I've interviewed his grandson a number of times. I got to know him when he was very young, and the Dudemans, and they have a ministry called Hand of Help where they, help the Romanian people because they're so poor over there. A lot of them are very poor. Lots of what do they call them? Orphans, because during that time what he was doing was he was taking children. And now these children have all grown up, but at the time he was taking the children and he was trying to build an army, kind of like Hitler was doing, where he would try to indoctrinate them from a very young age, and he would have an army that was completely loyal to the state. They would look to the state and Ceausescu as their father, right? It was kind of this whole propagandizing the youth to make them into a fighting machine. And so a lot of the parents, I know that there was a whole bunch of orphans at the time when all this happened. So they had an orphanage. They had a number of orphanages, and people would help them. But the prophecies that he gave about America and its destruction, and how China, Russia, and I believe he said North Korea and Cuba. There was also, I think, Nicaragua was spoken about in his prophecies, and how it would come out of Mexico. Ultimately, we would be ambushed. It would be a secret pact that they would make. And as America began to internally combust, as the government began to look internal, as it began to look inward to domestic enemies, that is when they would sneak attack us. That is when they would hit us from both shores with submarines, and they would hit all of our major cities. And he saw them burning. Okay. Now, I don't know if you want to take that as gospel, if you want to take that as something that you're going to believe that is from the Lord, but I'm going to tell you what. Things that are going according to what he said, I believe, are on track. And, there's other men and other women that have had visions and dreams about what was to come and politically what it would look like. And, I listen to those things and I put them on a shelf and I think about them. But really what I'm really looking at now are just the events that are unfolding. And I say, wow, these things kind of seem to be lining up. Not only that, but then you've got these crazy signals and messages that are coming from the constellations that are lining up with Scripture, in particular the Revelation 12 passage, and then you've got those embedded messages that are actually being kind of pointing to certain people and certain events that are unfolding here in America. And what I think it means for you and me as believers, I think we're in the midst of probably this transition is going into a place where we're going to be looked at as enemies at a certain point. Unfortunately, that's where I think it's going. But in the meantime, there's going to be tribulation in the sense of this. I think there's going to be disruptions in our economy. I think in our supply chain. I think it's going to affect critical infrastructure. I think we're going to have war. We're going to have events happening here in America. And we're not only going to see massive events happening in the Middle East, because I think that's on the brink of happening right now. I think we're this close right now because they're talking about hitting Iran now. There's a lot of things in the news right now in the last 24 hours about all this blowing up. So Netanyahu has already said that he's given the order to attack Iran. Iran said if it happens, they're going to attack Israel within 15 minutes, and it will be an overwhelming attack. I don't know what that means. I think it means they're going to bring out the hypersonics. Iran said in a statement that they didn't want to go to war, but they're not afraid of war and that they will respond. So Iran was trying to take the high road by saying, hey, we don't want this. We're on the eve of something huge. We don't want to see this. Now, Russia's saying in very stark words and very direct statements to Israel, don't hit Iran. So Russia is very adamant, very direct, and speaking directly to Netanyahu about what he's about to do. And America is just sitting there on her hands, don't know what to do. Netanyahu, don't do it. Don't do it, Netanyahu. But we'll stand behind you whatever happens, because we're not really speaking for ourselves. Our emotions are saying don't do it, but we know that you control our real thoughts and our real voice. So whatever you say, we will be with you. It's like we're not really speaking from our own heart. It's like some other voice has taken over because we're so beholden. We're so wed. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like a tag team. They're tagging the United States and they're telling them to get into the ring. It's WWE. Now, it's reality. I mean, it's not fake fight. I think it's going to be real fights. Real people are going to die. Just like when you say a false flag, people are like, oh, that's a false flag. It's fake. No, it's not fake. A false flag is a real event, but it was conjured by the side that actually believes that they're trying to put out and portray it as an attack. So it is fake in the sense that it wasn't actually the way it's perceived, but it's a real event that actually causes real death. So you can say, oh, well, you're saying that all this is fake. No, well, in WWE, they hit each other over the heads and they do bleed, but it is scripted to a certain degree. There is a plan and there is a purpose and there is a reason for why they're doing what they're doing. They're not just stupidly doing things. People would analyze this and say, why are they doing this? They're causing complete and utter chaos. But see, they know they're going to take advantage of that chaos. They're looking to take advantage. They're looking to take territory. They're looking to expand their territories. The greater Israel. I don't know if you've seen the map, but some of the soldiers have the greater Israel map on their arm. And there was one of the leaders of Israel was recently up there on the podium, and he had the greater Israel map, which includes parts of Lebanon and Jordan and going into Iraq and parts of they're saying they're biblically going to take the land. They're biblically going to fulfill what they say God has given them. And that means taking it from the Muslims. Do you think the Muslims are going to go along with this? And America is standing behind her? Don't you think America's going to get in the sights of the Muslims? Don't you think they're going to get mad at the U.S.? Well, they do call the U.S. Big Satan. We're the great Satan. Israel's the little Satan. And they say death to America and death to Israel all the time because they look at us as the big brother. So do you think they're just going to pick on the little brother, or do you think they're going to go after the big brother and try to take the big brother down? Well, I've got my thoughts on where things are going personally, and I share those thoughts, and I'm not saying thus saith the Lord or anything, but, I might say I really feel led to share this, and I do believe God is, inspiring this interpretation, or where I believe things are going, and you can take it for what it's worth, and just listen to what God is showing you. The North Korea thing is also exploding. I'm looking right now at some recent post from North Korea or about North Korea. North Korea blows up part of the northern side of the inter-Korean roads. So they're threatening right now war with South Korea. They are manning the battle stations. They've said get ready for war. They're telling all their troops, Kim Jong-un is telling all the troops to prepare for war and to man all the stations and get ready to fire. And they're really upset at South Korea for sending over these drones and these balloons or whatever they're sending. So this all coming out here in the last 24 hours. But I think it's all kind of coordinated. I think it's all. Hold on a second. Let me see this. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. And we're going to talk about memes as well here real soon. Meme magic. I don't know if you've heard of meme magic. I always thought it was kind of just a phrase, but it's actually something that the government and the military is actually using to change people's perspectives and their thoughts, to influence their thinking and their politics. They're using memes. And a lot of this, I believe, is generated by AI as well. I think a lot of these AI generated memes that are being posted on social media are just that. They are part of a psyop. They're a part of getting people's minds and thoughts going in a certain direction to control the narrative, ultimately maybe even your vote. And these things are happening all over social media right now. And we knew about meme magic going back to 2016 because I was right in the middle of all that and didn't even realize it. Well, I did realize it. I didn't understand like why it was so powerful, the things that were going on. But little did I know that I was kind of in the middle of these memes that were creating a big following. You know, I don't know if you remember the Trumpet News Channel, but we were getting 1 million plus views a day, and we would play memes all throughout the broadcast. We would play, Hillary Clinton memes, Alex Jones memes, Trump memes, memes about everything that you could think of that was funny at the time, at least politically, but it was also embedded in it was a message. And people just loved the memes. Obama memes. Remember the Obama meme? The Obama meme was the biggest meme of all, and that was just crazy, and so that had a big influence on, I think, on people's consciousness, on people's perceptions, and what they believed to be real, what reality was. And in reality, if you when I say in reality, the real reality is that I don't think that was reality. I think that was kind of a perception that was put upon the public to see and to perceive things that weren't actually the way they were. It's like the father of lies. I think it's all a part of the father of lies and the way that the devil operates in the world. And it was just expressed in a different way through these new technologies, I guess you would say, memes. But now they are coming out. They're saying now that the military is using them as a way to wage war. Can you believe that? Meme warfare? I mean, you're having AI now involved in all this too. I mean, if you go around and look at some of the things that are going on social media, you're kind of looking at these pictures and you're going, wow, these pictures look almost real, but there's just something about them that's not actually, it doesn't seem right, I've been seeing a lot of these memes with Trump and Elon Musk. Have you? And they look kind of real. They're always kind of together, and Anyway, so more red alerts out of Israel right now. I'm just seeing right now. It looks like Haifa's being hit right now. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. It's really happening, guys. This is really going down here. People don't realize how bad this is about to get. But this is going to get bad. I hope everybody's ready. Now, make sure that you guys subscribe to our Telegram page. My wife diligently posts on Telegram. I do sometimes post, but most of the posts are coming directly from my wife. She has lots of time to do this while I'm out and about working and getting things accomplished especially before our winter hits. So I just want, and then the little time that I do have to get on here and do broadcasts, I try to make that time early in the morning. Our devotionals are happening every morning, so make sure you get up and get over there to watch those. Sometimes I get up a little bit late, but I try to get them out there as soon as possible, and then I get back in and try to do a broadcast here a little bit later in the evening. So I'm catching up on the news myself when I get in. Got to take care of the kitties as well. I got lots of kitties that I got to take care of. Not just little kitty cats. We do have kitty cats too. And we have a litter of kitties, another litter, because we've got 2 cats. So we got lots of kitties. But I'm talking about my kids. And then I've got a myriad of projects that I got to accomplish before it gets winter here. But our Telegram channel is growing, and I do appreciate all you guys watching and praying with us in the mornings and here at during these broadcasts, but also as you look at what's going on in the world through the news lens of our Telegram page, that you also pray for the world, because the world is literally on the brink of chaos. We're on the brink of watching World War III break out. And this is crazy. I mean, look, Haifa's being completely hit right now. Uh-oh, some more. Let's see, some more just now. Okay, so Haifa still is right there. That was 9:25. Okay, that was 3 minutes ago. So this is the new map. Look at Haifa. The whole of Haifa has been hit. You can't even see the name on the map. It's completely filled with red dots. So yeah, things are about to get really bad. Okay, just so you know, the alerts are off the charts. I can't even keep up with all the alerts. Sirens sounded in Haifa and surrounding areas, northern and central Israel. That was just a minute ago. All right, so let's go to the news here and see what we got. How do you like this is my meme right here. I just made this meme. I do a little Photoshop, but see it, not bad, huh? I got Trump in there, because Trump's a WWE guy. He was very big into that, WWE. And you got the tag team, and you got Israel in there, and the USA, and Trump's going to be right there promoting it as it unfolds. Go ahead, expand your territories, Israel. Go ahead, take Lebanon. Go ahead, take the Golan. Go ahead, go into Syria. Go take over Jordan. Let's make the capital Jerusalem and put a new temple in there. I'll be Cyrus. I'm your knight in shining armor. I am your king. Now, lots of very religious Jews think that he's the Messiah. If you haven't heard this yet, you might want to check that out. That almost sounds kind of biblical to me. But, from what Trump has accomplished, you have to kind of wonder if he doesn't have designs and plans for a larger audience, maybe the whole of the world, because he definitely has big, swelling, ambitions. I was going to say. So there you go. Now, I wanted to tell you guys this really quick, and I only got one of these on the site, or I've got two of these. Normally, these are on, if you go over here to ecoflow.com, you'll see that this unit right here is $3,800 on sale, $3,800. We have this whole unit right now. We've only got 2 coupon codes. So if you've ever thought about getting a solar generator, this is the time to get it. I've got 2 coupon codes. That's it. So if 2 people buy it, there's no more left. That's all you're going to get. The coupon code is gift card 400 off EF, which stands for EcoFlow, 400 off EF. And you get the Delta Pro and the 400 watt panel. And normally, like I said, that goes for about almost $4,000. This right here is under $3,000. Under $3,000. It's right at right below $3,000. So you're getting almost $1,000 off, more than $1,000 off. Or actually, it's almost $1,000 off. So I don't know. This is a great deal. I keep thinking, man, if I had extra money, I'd buy them both. if nobody buys them, I'll buy them, but I don't have the money to do that. So, you guys out there, if you're wanting to get prepared and you want an EcoFlow, go price check. Go see the prices. You'll see these are a great deal. So get them now. You've only got 2. Look at all this stuff that's going on. They probably wish they had EcoFlows out here. out here in North Carolina. I'm telling you, there's probably people that did buy them though, because there's a lot of people that bought some that watch our show and got prepared. They got extra food. They, maybe they got some of the survival stuff. We took all that off because I wanted to make sure that they only use the coupon until these two EcoFlows are gone. There's nothing on the site because I don't want somebody to use the coupon on something else and then get everything free. I can't do that. Somebody's going to apply $400 to like a whole bunch of items and then check out and say, hey, I got it for free. It's like, I don't know how to do it. So I had to disable everything for right now, just for you guys out there. This is just for you. I'm sure in about, a few hours they'll both be gone. So, and here's some of the crazy, symbolism behind Space Force. And if you don't know about what Space Force is, it's obviously something that's, very mysterious and we don't know too much about it and what kind of technologies are being utilized there to keep us safe and to make war from the heavens. It's very odd. And when you really look into some of the symbolism, the U.S. Space Force, it is very interesting. You got the all-seeing eye there. You've even got a Baphomet symbol here. If you look at this one here, if you turn it upside down, look at this. You turn it upside down, look at it. It's actually a Baphomet symbol. So look, let's see. You see that? That's what Baphomet looks like. That's the god of the underworld, the god, that represents Satan. But if you turn the Space Force logo upside down, it looks like Baphomet, don't it? Oh, that's weird. It's just like the goat god. But then again, everybody has an interpretation. But if you really look into it, a lot of occult symbolism in a lot of the logos. And you got to wonder about Space Force. This is real interesting how AI is basically creating, it's almost like necromancing, talking to the dead, creating your dead loved one so that you can chat with them and they'll respond to you. And if they've chronicled this person or they've, downloaded their files of what they think and how they believe. And especially now with all the AI's ability to figure things out, there's ways that they can, especially the more information they have on somebody, they can really replicate their thought process. And so when you have a dead loved one, you could text them and they'll text you back. And it's just kind of like the Ouija board or a seance or something, except it's a high-tech kind of artificial intelligence. And they call it artificial necromancing for everyone through artificial AI or alien intelligence, right? Alien intelligence. AI, many times people say it stands for alien intelligence, but you got to wonder because people are saying the AI is sentient. It's actually become self-aware, and it seems almost like a ghost in the machine. And if you don't know what the ghost in the machine is, you might want to look that up, and that's kind of where spirits will utilize technologies to communicate to the outside world. I don't know if you've ever heard of the spirit box, where people will go into haunted houses and the spirits supposedly will communicate through radio signals and jumble it through, and they'll answer you, or they'll talk and you'll hear it come through. Anybody ever seen that? Yeah, that's kind of weird. But, I do think that spiritual forces are going to utilize technologies in the last day to become godlike. That will be their way to become, or to rival and to be omniscient or to be all powerful and all omnipresent, everywhere at once, so to speak. And because the devil can't do that. Only God can do that. The devil has to replicate it. The devil has to, because the devil's not omnipresent. The devil is not all powerful, and the devil isn't all knowing. Only God is. But with AI and all the technologies that we have, it can kind of almost make it feel like he can do that if he had the abilities to channel that through technology and the infrastructure was there. Then yeah, he could control and make everyone, both great and small, rich and poor, bonded free, to take a mark. And he would be able to track, trace, and tag, bag everyone. He would know everything about everybody. So this is what the technology has done. It's come to this place where, people are going to, and this is a meme right here. Look, this is a meme. See, this is generated by some name called Trump Army, which is probably an AI bot. But you see how they make these memes? They look real. This is all AI generated. This isn't real. That's not a real picture. It's an AI generated meme. Anyways, so here is a you see that right there? That's the path of a hurricane that went through a solar farm. Those are all solar panels right there. But you see a big swath of solar panels that have disappeared right here. That's gone. That's their history. They're little pieces of solar panels laying everywhere. Some of them didn't get affected, but you can see it looks like a tornado ripped through here. But this was Hurricane Milton, and Duke Energy's solar farm in Florida now in shambles. No more power going to be generated through that solar farm. This is really troubling to see China making moves right now at the same time that all this is going down. What is China doing? They're encircling Taiwan, and they're bringing all of their armaments to the shores. Almost it looks like they're getting ready for an invasion. They totally, completely encircled, and they even brought aircraft carriers out too, and jets and everything. And it says that they're surrounding Taiwan during military drills and blockades of the island nation. Here's what China said. It says China deployed fighter jets and warships to encircle Taiwan on Monday. In drills, Beijing said, were aimed at sending a stern warning to what they called separatist forces on the self-ruled island. So they're saying that these separatist forces are threatening China, and that they have to stand down and they have to allow and stop resisting what China's about to do. China's basically assimilating Hong Kong. And they're not supposed to assimilate Hong Kong for another. I think in the actual documents that they signed as a treaty, they weren't supposed to take Taiwan over until another 20 years or something like that. I think it was 2045 or something like that. But I think they want it now. And I don't think they really care about all that, from what I understand. And with all the current activity that's going on with U.S. and the Middle East and Ukraine, you've got that block of power, axis of, the Eastern, or whatever they call it. They call it the Axis powers. You've got China, Russia, Iran, and all the other countries, North Korea, and everybody else that's going along with the BRICS. And you've got lots of countries that economically are allied. They're in alliance because of this BRIC block of economic, self-interests that are common, that are all looking at this as taking over the American world reserve currency status. Our ability to control the global economy is waning. And you're starting to see through this war that you may see the BRICS nation, the BRICS countries, become this great block of power that rivals or even overtakes the West, especially with the watering down of Europe and the United States now with all these immigrants. This was all done with purpose and design. And the people that are in power in places of high influence, even within our own government, have facilitated this. They haven't stopped it. They've allowed it, and they facilitated it. Now, a lot of people say, well, Trump's trying to stop it. Well, Trump's trying to stop it. Well, yeah, but he didn't stop it. He was too weak to stop it. But this time, he's going to do it. But he didn't do it when he could have, when he should have. You know, it's easier to resist at the beginning than it is at the end. It's too late now. They've already set up shop. Now they're going to execute their orders when all is said and done. When the high command tells these groups to do what they're going to do it. And there's nothing that's going to stop it. What's Trump going to do? He's just going to oversee the chaos? Like I said in 2020, Trump is going to come back. I told you guys all, he's going to come back, but he'll come back to oversee the ashes of what is left of America. And that's exactly what has happened. America has basically turned into ash in the last 4 years. Iran's foreign minister says that we are prepared for any kind of circumstances. We are entirely ready for a military conflict. We are not afraid of war, but we do not wish for war. And when China sent these warplanes, there was 125 of them. The article's at blazingpress.com if you want to check it out. This is more stuff on the AI. The WEFers, and I say the WEFers, the World Economic Forum people, they are now warning that extreme weather is going to cut off your access to your bank account. I'm serious. This is no joke. They're saying that, well, you know, Klaus Schwab, the World Economic Forum, you know, headmaster, has already stated that COVID is going to be looked at as a child's play. Just listen to what he says. I have it so you can hear it in his own words. Let's see if I got this right here. Let me see if I got the right one here. I think this is it.
Right. So that we penetrate the cabinets. The change is not just happening. The change can be shaped by us. We have to prepare for a more angry world. How to prepare? To take the necessary action to create a fairer world. I see the need for a great reset. So people assume we are just going back to the good old world which we had and everything will be normal again. This is, let's say, fiction. It will not happen.
There is only one way this pandemic is going to go. It's going to get worse and worse and worse.
Pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
Well, there you go. You know, this has been in the cards for a long time for those who've been paying attention. You should have been already aware of this. If this is surprising you and you're just now waking up to the facts of where the world is, then yeah, you're probably going to be in shock and awe and not know what to do. You know, Stockholm syndrome. You're going to be like, please, somebody help. You know, you're going to be looking for a remedy that's earthly. I'm just going to tell you right now, there is no earthly remedy. It's only found in Jesus. The only way you're going to find peace in this world, and I don't care how powerful you are, I don't care how much money you have, I don't care how many connections you have, you are not going to change the outcome of what is coming to America. You know, you can hope, you can have all the hopium you want, but all it's going to do is sedate you. You know, it's kind of like the Bible says strong drink is for those who are going down to the grave. You know, we can give you morphine if you'd like, and you can be comfortable, but it's not going to be all that long. So you want to be awake and aware, and you want to be ready. You want to know the reality of what's really happening in truth and not be afraid. Well, then you need Jesus in your heart. You need to have the presence of God filling your soul and walking with him daily, forgiving all your sins, walking in humility, walking in reverence, walking in a trust that goes within the veil, goes beyond the veil. Here's California now saying that they've had 5 possible cases of human bird flu among dairy farm workers. You know that whole big thing that they had going on October 2nd through the 4th? I think it was a big simulation, kind of similar to what happened right before, the China virus came around. And it was only a few months before when it hit, but they had a simulation. Well, that was kind of what just happened in October, early October. And here we are. We've got 5 cases now in California, supposedly, in addition to the 6 cases that were previously confirmed in the state. This is what the State Department Health, or the State Health Department, has said on Monday. This is according to Reuters. So they're getting ready. Now, they've got mask mandates going on right now all over the Bay Area. Did you see that? There's 8 or 10 counties now that are implementing mask mandates in California. So it looks like something's happening there. They're going to come after your chickens. They're going to come after your cows. They're going to come after all your beef. And they're going to present you with bug soup, bug stew, cricket sandwiches. Make sure when you eat them, you make sure that you let them crunch in your mouth. Isn't that the way Klaus says it? the cricket sandwiches. So it says here that the Israeli strike on Iran would be carried out before the U.S. elections. They're saying they're not going to wait. They're going to do it now. They want maximum chaos in the United States. This is what the Israelis desire, maximum chaos. They want to make sure that we are in complete and utter disarray. And they're going to do this, and they're going to hit them hard. And then Iran's going to hit back within 15 minutes, they said. And America's going to jump in. Hopefully the THAAD system works, but I'm sure it's not going to stop hypersonics. Iran does have hypersonics. They will probably make and reach their targets. Everybody's in deep underground military bunkers. The Ayatollah, the president of Iran, everyone, they're all deep under the ground right now. They've already said. And they're getting prepared. So this is all getting ready to happen. I'm sure the whole cabinet and Israel's president and everybody else is in a deep underground bunker as well. And it says this is going to be carried out before the U.S. elections on November 5th, the official familiar with the matter said, because of a lack of action could be interpreted by Iran as a sign of weakness. It will be one, listen to this, it will be one in a series of responses. This is what Israel is going to do. They're not going to just hit them once, but they're going to have a whole series. It's going to be like season 5 of Friends or something. It's going to be one after another after another. I mean, they're going to I think they want to totally, completely, do what they did to Gaza and now what they're doing to Lebanon. Just flattening it. Just as they go, they're just going to flatten whatever they can, as much as they can. And then Trump's going to come in and confirm what they're doing. And then Russia's going to jump in. I don't think Russia's going to just sit by idly. I think this is where Russia comes in to the conflict. Biblically, Russia gets involved in a conflict in the Middle East with Israel. And maybe, at that point, America's neutralized, or worse. Maybe we're not even in. I don't even think people really see America in prophecy as a power. Maybe it's a cub of the lion, but that would be Britain. I don't think we're making too much noise at that point. I don't think we're the empire in the prophecies of Scripture. I don't see us there. So something happens to the U.S., I think, prophetically speaking. Israel's now saying that he approves the attack on Iran. So this was basically today him saying that he approves the attack. It's going to happen real soon. Get ready. This is an interesting video here. You might want to check that one out. I can't play all these, but all right, guys. So that's just a little update for the 14th of October. And just wanted to give you guys a little heads up on what I'm thinking. I need to go take a shower. I need to get some food, and I need to go to bed. Like I said, I just got in, so I figured I'd just get in here and give you the 411 and the 911 because it's an emergency. Things are getting really, really bad. And just want to make sure you're all prepared. Don't miss the devotions in the morning. I'm going to be doing that very regularly. So get ready for those devotionals. And also, we're preparing the video about the signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars, and the constellation of Virgo, and what that means for America. With the comet coming through and the blaze star getting ready to light up, what does this portend? We're going to talk about that here real soon. So get ready for that. All you patrons, you get the first shot at it. So if you're a supporter on Patreon, please go over there and get ready to hear all the things that we're going to share with you guys first. And thank you guys for supporting what we're doing. We appreciate it very much in every way. And we ask God's blessings upon all out there that are helping to get this message out, sharing our videos, thumbsing them up, getting them up on the algorithms, putting them on your social media, and also financially getting behind what we're doing. It does help, and it does alleviate some of the stress. We appreciate that, and we know that God is the one that's in control of all that, so we don't worry. But in the meantime, we will see you guys back here on the flip side. The Lord bless you. The Lord keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you, be gracious to you, and give you peace, the true peace that passes all understanding. That is the Prince of Peace, and it's only found in him, and he is our peace. Amen. He's broken down every wall. Every wall has been broken down. You've been able to go in to the very presence of God because of Christ to get that peace that passes all understanding. So I pray that you have that in Jesus' name. We'll talk to you guys soon. God bless, and have a great night.